6 p.m. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Daman Zaman. The headlines: Prime Minister's Relief Fund has been established for the earthquake victims of the brotherly country Turkey. The death toll from the earthquakes in Turkey and Syria has risen to over 5,000, and rescue and recovery operations are underway despite freezing weather. The President has expressed the determination to root out the menace of terrorism from the country with collective national resolve. The Finance Minister says the government is determined to put the economy on positive trajectory despite all challenges. Pakistan and Spain have agreed to expand bilateral cooperation in diverse sectors. The United Nations Secretary General has warned of a wider war over the conflict in Ukraine. And now the news in detail. The Prime Minister Mohammad Shahbaz Sharif has decided to establish Prime Minister's Relief Fund to support the earthquake victims of the brotherly country Turkey. The decision was taken at a meeting of the Federal Cabinet which met in Islamabad today with the Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif in the chair. The Prime Minister appealed to the people to generously donate for the earthquake victims in Turkey. The Cabinet members also announced to donate their 1 month's salary to the Relief Fund. The meeting decided that the government employees from grade 18 to grade 22 will donate their 1 day's salary to the fund. The Prime Minister said Pakistan International Airlines and Pakistan Air Force flights carrying relief goods, rescue teams, doctors and paramedics have left for Turkey, and delivery of more relief supplies will continue. The Prime Minister Mohammad Shahbaz Sharif will visit Turkey tomorrow to offer condolence to the Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan over the massive human and material loss due to the devastating earthquake. In a tweet, the Minister for Information and Broadcasting, Maryam Aurangzeb, said the Prime Minister will also express solidarity with the people of Turkey. The Minister said the all-parties conference scheduled for Thursday has also been rescheduled due to the Prime Minister's visit to Turkey, and the new dates will be announced later after due consultation with the coalition partners. Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif says solidarity with the earthquake victims of Turkey and Syria should be translated into tangible and timely material support. In a tweet today, he described the scenes of death and destruction in the devastating earthquake as mind-numbing. The Prime Minister said it breaks the heart to witness sheer scale of unfolding human tragedy. A C-130 Hercules aircraft of the Pakistan Air Force carrying 51 members of search and rescue team and blankets has reached Turkey. According to the spokesperson of the Pakistan Air Force, the aircraft is carrying relief goods from the people of Pakistan for the earthquake-affected brethren of Turkey. The death toll from the earthquakes in Turkey and Syria has risen to over 5,000 as the rescue and recovery operations are underway despite freezing weather conditions. Rescue teams continued search for survivors among the rubble of thousands of toppled buildings following the 7.8 magnitude deadly earthquake. Turkish and Syrian disaster response teams said more than 5,600 buildings were flattened, including many multi-story apartments where the residents were asleep as the quake struck. Meanwhile, the Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has announced 7 days national mourning in the country for the victims of the earthquake. World leaders have pledged to send aid after Turkey issued an international appeal for help. This is Radio Pakistan. The President, Dr. Arif Alvi, has expressed the determination to root out the menace of terrorism from the country with collective national resolve. He said this while talking to the media at the Chief Minister House after visiting the Peshawar blast victims at Lady Reading Hospital in Peshawar today. Dr. Arif Alvi reaffirmed the determination that security forces, along with the public, will curb the once again rising wave of terrorism from the province. The Minister for Finance, Ishaq Dar, says the government is determined to put the economy on positive trajectory despite all challenges. He was talking to the chief economist of the Asian Infrastructure and Investment Bank, Eric Burloff, who called on him in Islamabad today. The finance minister shared the current economic outlook of the country and briefed the delegation about the economic policies and reforms of the government for sustainable economic development and social uplift of the poor segments of the society. The visiting dignitary appreciated the economic policies and reforms of the government for social uplift of the people. He highlighted the role of the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank in infrastructure development projects and investment in Pakistan and discussed future cooperation in development projects, especially on climate resilience. The Speaker of National Assembly, Raja Parvez Ashraf, has emphasized the crucial role of interparliamentary cooperation for addressing the global challenges such as climate change, terrorism and transnational crime. He was talking to the President of Interparliamentary Union, Duarte Pacheco, who called on him in Islamabad today. They discussed the role of parliamentary diplomacy in promoting peace and stability in the region, as well as the importance of strengthening interparliamentary cooperation. The United States has vowed to continue to be a committed partner of Pakistan in the face of horrific terrorist incidents. At his regular news briefing in Washington, the American State Department spokesperson Ned Price said Pakistan is an important partner of the United States in a number of ways. He said, "We have talked in recent days to stand with Pakistan in the face of security threats." The Senate was informed that 190 passenger coaches and 750 high-capacity wagons will be locally assembled in Pakistan under the Transfer of Technology Agreement with China. Responding to a question in the House today, the Minister of State for Law, Shahdat Awan, said upgradation of infrastructure under ML1 will go a long way in uplifting the Pakistan Railways. Responding to a supplementary question, the Minister of State for Law, Shahdat Awan, said Radio Pakistan is a national broadcaster and it will always be our endeavour to further improve its performance. He said both Radio Pakistan and Pakistan Television will see development in the days to come. Pakistan and Spain have agreed to expand cooperation in trade, economy, agriculture, renewable energy, tourism, digitalization, startups and food processing areas. The understanding came at the fifth round of Pakistan-Spain annual bilateral consultations in Madrid. The Pakistan side was led by the Foreign Secretary Asad Majid, while the Spanish side by its Secretary of State for Foreign and Global Affairs, Angeles Moreno Bao. The Foreign Secretary Asad Majid underscored the importance Pakistan attaches to GSP Plus scheme and thanked the Spanish side for its continued support in this regard. He also invited the Spanish companies to take advantage of Pakistan's liberal investment regime and produce, source and market products in Pakistan. The caretaker Punjab Chief Minister Mohsin Naqvi has announced a waive of tuition fee of Kashmiri students in the province. He stated this during a meeting with a delegation of Kashmiri students in Lahore today. The Chief Minister said necessary measures will be taken to fix postgraduate quota for the Kashmiri students studying in medical colleges. The United Nations Secretary-General Antonio Guterres has warned of a wider war over the conflict in Ukraine, saying the chances of further escalation and bloodshed are growing. In a speech to the General Assembly, Antonio Guterres painted a dire picture for the year ahead, pointing to several problems the world is facing, including the conflict in Ukraine, climate change, extreme poverty and wars. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un has ordered his military to increase combat exercises amid ongoing tension in the region. According to the state-run media presiding over a meeting, Kim Jong-un discussed the situation in the region. Radio Pakistan's retired controller news, Sher Zaman, died after protracted illness in Peshawar today. The funeral prayer will be offered at his native town in Mardan. And finally, the weather report. Cold and dry weather is expected in most parts of the country during the next 12 hours. And that is the end of this news bulletin. For more news and analyses, log on to our website, radio.gov.pk. And you can also watch the live video streaming of our bulletins on the link, facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.